Top 10 Craziest Simpsons Predictions That Actually Came True. The Simpsons has been on air for over 3 decades, and in that time, the show has made some eerily accurate predictions about the future. Let's count down the top 10 craziest predictions that actually happened, starting from number 10 and building up to the most mind-blowing of them all. Number 10, Video Chatting. Back in 1995, the episode Lisa's Wedding showed us a future where people could video call each other on their phones. At the time, this seemed like pure science fiction. Fast forward to today, and FaceTime, Zoom, and video calls are just part of our everyday lives. The Simpsons saw it coming decades before it became reality. Number 9, Autocorrect Fails. In a 1994 episode, we see a memo that's been hilariously changed by faulty autocorrect technology. The joke was that machines would try to predict what we're typing and get it completely wrong. Now we all know the pain of autocorrect turning our messages into complete nonsense. The Simpsons predicted our daily struggle with technology trying to outsmart us. Number 8, Smart Watches. The episode titled Lisa's Wedding strikes again. Homer is seen wearing a watch that he uses as a phone. This was 1995, people. The Apple Watch wouldn't hit stores for another 20 years. The idea of a wrist-worn device that could make calls seemed absurd back then, but now millions of people wear smartwatches every single day. Number 7, the Higgs boson particle. Here's where things get weird. In a 1998 episode called The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, Homer is shown in front of a blackboard filled with equations. One of those equations actually predicted the mass of the Higgs boson particle, and it was scarily close to the actual measurement discovered by scientists 14 years later in 2012. How did a comedy show predict one of the biggest scientific discoveries of the century? Number 6, the Siegfried and Roy tiger attack. In a 1993 episode, a duo of magicians clearly based on Siegfried and Roy are attacked by their own white tiger during a performance. 10 years later in 2003, Roy Horn was actually attacked by a white tiger during a live show in Las Vegas, ending their legendary career. The Simpsons predicted a real-life tragedy a full decade before it happened. Number 5, the horse meat scandal. In a 1994 episode, the lunch lady admits to using horse meat in the school cafeteria meals, specifically disguised as ground beef. Everyone laughed at how ridiculous that was. Then in 2013, a massive scandal erupted across Europe when horse meat was discovered in beef products sold by major retailers. The Simpsons called it 19 years earlier. Number 4, Disney buying 20th Century Fox. In 1998, an episode showed a sign outside a studio lot that read 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney Company. At the time, this was meant to be a completely absurd joke about corporate mergers. But in 2017, Disney actually announced they were buying 21st Century Fox for over $71 billion. The deal closed in 2019. The Simpsons literally predicted their own corporate takeover 2 decades in advance. Number 3, the Ebola outbreak. In a 1997 episode titled Lisa's Sacks, Marge suggests a book to Bart called Curious George and the Ebola virus. It was a throwaway joke about a deadly disease. But 17 years later in 2014, the largest Ebola outbreak in history devastated West Africa and became global news. The Simpsons somehow knew Ebola would become a major crisis nearly 2 decades before it happened. Number 2, Lady Gaga Super Bowl performance. In a 2012 episode, Lady Gaga performs at Springfield and is shown suspended in the air on wires, flying over the crowd in an elaborate aerial performance. 5 years later in 2017, Lady Gaga performed at the Super Bowl halftime show, and guess what? She was suspended in the air on wires in an elaborate aerial performance. The staging, the wires, the flying over the audience, it was all there. The Simpsons predicted one of the biggest performances in TV history down to the specific details. Number 1, Donald Trump's presidency. This is the big one. In the year 2000, a full 16 years before it actually happened, The Simpsons aired an episode called Bart to the Future. In it, Lisa becomes president and mentions that she's inheriting a budget crisis from President Trump. The writers literally predicted that Donald Trump would become president of the United States over a decade and a half before he announced his campaign. They even showed him coming down an escalator in a later episode, which is exactly what happened when he announced his candidacy in 2015. This isn't just a lucky guess, this is The Simpsons seeing into the future with terrifying accuracy. So there you have it, the top 10 craziest predictions from The Simpsons that actually came true. Are the writers time travelers? Do they have a crystal ball? Or are they just so good at satire that reality eventually catches up? Whatever the answer, one thing's for sure, we should all be paying more attention to what happens in Springfield, because it might just be a preview of our own future.